down a bad path, and then I had to pick myself back up again. COVID, or that period, was my wake-up call. I just realised, fuck this, like, I need to sort this out. Did you have a wake-up call? Like, what was your moment when you were like, okay, I want to now go and conquer across these pillars. I want to actually become this different man moving through time?
For me, it was having kids. I was that selfish guy. I think, throughout my 20s, my early 20s, because I had my first son when I was 27. And I think that up until that point, I was very interested. You mentioned before, right, that did you always have this holistic approach to life and have all these pillars like nailed from fucking birth? No, I didn't. I was very selfish, very insular. I don't have regrets. I think regrets are probably the most pointless emotion and trait to have. But for me, what having kids enabled me to do was see outside of myself. And it started with, okay, there's something more important in my life than me. Because even my wife, although she's fundamentally the most important person in my sphere, because I believe that if you give everything to your wife, she's the person that will help that flourish and feed it through within a family unit. So I give more support to my wife than directly to my kids, because I know when she's on form, everyone's on form. But that being said, having my kids is like my legacy. That suddenly made me realize that there's more to life than just me, and that there's something that's going to carry on past you. But then it also made me realize that I'm following on from the people that have left me to be here and flourish. And through having kids, I can then see the world through the perspective of my ancestors and how they felt and everything they fought for their kids and their kids and their kids. And then I suddenly realized that, whoa, until I'd had kids, I had been completely taken for granted all of the men and women that have fought to enable me to be here today. And I hadn't respected them properly. And as I suddenly started to realize that, whoa, there is so much that has happened before me to enable me to be here in this incredible country. By the way, the UK is insane, and anyone that's traveled across the world knows just how amazing this country is. Yes, it has lots of flaws, but in terms of what we have compared to go out into Africa and live in a mud hut and have no access to any form of medication or education or just any sense of litigation or legal system or structure or infrastructure whatsoever, we've had it pretty bloody good. And thinking that we have steeps of culture, an amazing country in terms of the actual scenery and the landscaping and how green this bloody country is. And there is no greener grass than in the UK. Everyone's trying to find it, but motherfucker, it's right here. Man, they fought for this. And now I'm even thinking about going to Dubai or Bulgaria, Eastern Europe, or one of these other countries that I can escape this madness. Was because I lost respect or never actually had respect for my ancestors. And they don't ever want you to talk about them. The school system doesn't teach you to be prideful of those that fought for you. Once again, they make you feel guilty about the atrocities that our ancestors and this white guilt, this white privilege that we have bestowed upon us now. Yeah. All these massively incorrect belief systems that they're now pushing on us to help us lose respect for those that were before us, and then lose respect for who we are as men, and ultimately weakening the fundamental backbone of our race, our nation, which is what we need to solve and bring back to fix this bloody thing. Not blaming immigrants. Don't blame politicians. If we had respect for ourselves, that government would be in power. You would have actually turned up to the ballots and voted. Everyone's complaining about what we have, but you allowed it to happen. The big strong men, the big I ams, the big alpha males that everyone likes to preach that they are nowadays, is sitting there blaming about something that they did nothing about because they didn't respect themselves enough to go and actually bloody vote and actually say, well, no, I'm not happy with that. We'll stand up and fight. No, you're just fucking jumping on a plane and off to Dubai.
Mate, a lot of them don't even put themselves in a position where, even if their mentality is, all right, I'm going to stand and fight. All right, well, what are you building? What have you done? What resource have you got? Or is it just you and a pitchfork? Yeah, you go, mate. And it's like, genuinely,